Hi, it's Mark Kaufman, Anthology's Senior Software Engineer on the Developer Relations and Standards team. I'm making this video to demonstrate how you can put an icon in the Ultra Base Navigation left sidebar with some text next to it, and then have clicking that link, have that open an LTI panel that does an LTI launch. It has to be a system tool launch because it's out of context of any course. So you have to create a system tool in the developer portal. So I'll just demonstrate real quick what happens. Uh, One person asked about doing the same thing with the help. Got this demo set up to do a different kind of panel that will open a um, panel on a small panel on the right, and it has some, says hello world. You could modify this code to do the same thing that we're doing over here, where when we click on this link, it opens a panel that contains an LTI launch, and then the LTI launch just has this text in it that you see here. So that was our LTI tool. Um, you can see the LTI launch if you use your developer console and click on it. You see here it has the launch, and if we go and we copy the value for the token and we place it here, we can see it's an LTI launch. You can see the values in the launch. Um, and I'm going to show you the code that does this, but you can see that we have the LIS claim, which has the person source did, which is the user. So you don't need to use the long GUID if you want a human readable username. Uh, you can put other values in the custom parameters in your tool installation. So let's go back and show you how this code works. So I'm going to close out the developer console. We'll start on the developer portal. I mentioned this in this text here that I'm going to share as a Word document. And it's going to be on we'll put it on docs.anthology.com eventually. I don't have it there yet, but right now it'll be a Word document that I'll share. So you you have your tool on the developer portal, and you go to manage placements for that tool, and you're going to want to create a system tool because you're launching from the left nav out of context of any course. So, and then when you create your system tool, so you'd click the plus and then you select system tool here. When you create your system tool, you will get a handle, and you're going to use that handle. That handle will, anytime you deploy this tool to a Learn system, you've registered it here on the developer portal. Anytime you deploy it to a Learn system, this managed placement will be created on that deployment on that Learn system with this handle. So you can use this handle in your code then to make this LTI launch. So it'll be the same everywhere on every Learn system. That's a key point. Um, in the old days, we still allow it. You can actually create a managed placement on the Learn system, like you deploy the tool and then you go to the Learn system and you create a managed placement. You don't ever want to do that here because you need this handle to be the same everywhere. So you want your handle to be set up on the developer portal. Okay, so how does this work? Well, you need, so first of all, let's do a little bit of glossary here. The base navigation is this navigation over on the far left. Um, and so what you need to do is, well, first thing you need to do is you need to work with this code here in our GitHub repository. And you're going to want to work through branches one, the master branch, and then you set up the master branch, you get that working, and then you work through the branches 1 through 4. And once you have branches 1 through 4 working, then you can be confident that your branch 106 will work, which is the UEF Base Nav branch. And that's what we're working with here. So, so here I show you about the handle, getting the handle and the UEF placement. So now here's the code. So in unauthorized author with unauthorized with ultra function, we're going to add this code to so that our tool or our tutorial integration knows when uh, the base nav is being created. And so when the base nav is being created, we're going to give it some contents. We're going to call it showBaseNav. And so you can see here, what I did in the code is you look for base nav, you can see, yeah, here it is. Uh, you can see we're in the function unauthorized with ultra, and we've added this code right here. So this is going to register our our tool or our ultra. It's actually not a tool at this point. It comes from our tool, but it's a JavaScript that's running in the browser. It's going to and it's going to post a message to Ultra to say, hey, when you display the base nav, I need you to do this code here, this initial contents. And so if you look for show base nav, you see we're setting up a link in the left sidebar where we pass it the link name, and it's a button that we click, and it has a callback ID of uef-basenav-test. So that's what we described here in part 2, and then in part 3, when we get a message from Ultra that there was this callback with that ID. So if I look for, so here we're in the part of the code. I'm going to scroll up and show you where we are. We are in the part of the code where we're checking for our different kinds of events. So we got a message from Ultra, and we're looking for our kinds of events. And we're saying if I got a portal callback and it was the base nav test, then I want to open a panel. I want to set up to open a panel. So if we look at the open panel BN code, that BN stands for base nav, and you need an L in there. What that's going to do is that's going to post a message to create a panel, and we're going to call the panel 4, and it's our base nav demo. And if we're on our courses and we do this, you'll see there's the UF Base Nav demo, the title. So we pass that title, and then if we look at panel 4, so now right here we're in the part of the code where we're still on a message from Ultra, and we got a data correlation ID of panel 4, and so we're basically going to set up some contents to send our LTI launch, and we can send special custom parameters if we want. And here's our handle that we got from our developer portal registration. And then we post message. You notice the tag is LTI launch. That's key. So when we post a message, we say portal render, and we send these contents to the LTI, and then that actually opens the panel with the LTI launch in it. So so that's where we are here, is where we open the panel. This is step 5. We've added code for panel 4 to the bottom of the render panel contents. So if you look up here, you'll see we're in the part of the code where we're rendering panel contents. And so we just added a bit to render panel contents for panel 4 that we created up above. Okay, that's all you need to do to set up a LTI launch from the left navigation. And if you want to set up an LTI launch from the help, you can take the help example that's here in the code, and you can modify it to do the same thing that we've done here when we click on this link. You can basically, you'll create a panel that will do an LTI launch from help. And you would have to use the same you could use the same system tool if you wanted to, or you could have a different system tool if you wanted it to go to a different set of code on your tool side. All right, thank you for watching. I hope this is helpful. Happy coding.